Wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Born free as the wind blows.
Well, hello and welcome back. It's been a weird week. It's the first full week in July. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's the first full week in July. Had to check the calendar, make sure. It was 4th of July back on Monday. I already feel like I've done a report for this week, but I really haven't. It's Thursday now, and I haven't gotten back onto the Gorn yet because of orders coming in, which is wonderful. Good news. I was, once you retire, you kind of start worrying about, finances more than you normally do, and it's always good to have money coming in. So, orders in, out the door, taken care of. Back to the Gorn. Friend the Gorn, the armless. Look at him. He's armless. He won't hurt you. He's armless. Going to start on what I'm calling the polka dots for the Gorn. What I need to do is to measure up and get a size and plot some in vinyl. And then what I'm going to do is plot them in vinyl and then trace them out on here. And the thing is, I know they should all be the same size because it's a pattern. What's a pattern? A pattern is a repeating series of a similarly shaped object. So what I need to do is to plot some out and stick them down. And we'll see how that goes. Now he's starting to look a little bit more Flintstone-y, for lack of a better term. What I've done is just plotted out a bunch of generic shapes and placed them around. This is the best way for me to mock up the spacing and things like that, and I'm using this as my reference. Basically 2 rows of 4 and then 2 rows of 4 there, or 2 rows of 5 rather, sorry. So 2 rows of 4 down the front, 2 rows of 5, carrying the I'm sorry, no, it is 2 rows of 4, 2 rows of 4, 2 rows of 4. But I'm spacing them out, and then what I'll do is I'll just trace around them with a Sharpie and then move them around to the back. I'm kind of figuring out my spacing in there, and then I'll start doing the painting. And all of the dots have been traced and taken back off, and now it's just a question of coloring them in. To do that, I need to find some good metallic browns and some of that the burgundy color. I think I'm going to do is hang on till tomorrow and then go hit the hobby store and see what they might have in stock before I try to ransack my paltry storehouse of paint. So that's going to do it for today, I believe, and we'll pick this up in the morning. Well, good morning. It's Friday, and I woke up and realized if I don't do something today, I'm not going to have anything worth showing this week. So let's get back to the tunic here. I'm looking for metallic colors for the tunic. And yes, you can go, you can't throw a cat without hitting a metallic color if you're using enamels. But I wanted to use acrylics. For a plethora of reasons, most importantly, just clean up and smell. So went to Michael's to the craft paints to see if I could find some metallics. And looking at, let me clean this out of the way, looking at the picture, you can see that what we have here is browns and reds, basically. And the red is kind of the same color as the red from the gauntlet. So it's not a real bright red, it's more of a burgundy or a maroon. And so what I'm going to do is mix up something. I can only find this bright red, but, bright red and black equals dark red. And this brown, which is a medium brown, but again, brown and black equals dark brown. So that's what I'm going to try for these base colors. And what I'm going to do first is just kind of lay in the basic colors and then come back and finesse them. Now, none of them are solid. It looks like the brown shape that's repeated. I'm sorry, down here. The brown shape that's repeated is a little bit more solid, and the red shape that's repeated has this gold center to it. So I'm going to start painting in the masking colors and then go back in and kind of finesse the details to them. But the important thing is to lay out the colors on this and kind of get them started. That's starting to look familiar. That's the colors just masked in, and I'm going to let those dry until I can come back and refinesse them a bit. Now that I've kind of got the colors, the right shades, and the locations and the spacing and everything, we're going to let that dry and then come back and pretty them up. Okay, the florets or turtle shell or whatever you want to call it on the tunic has had a time to dry, so it's time to go in and start doing some detail work on them. But that's getting to where it looks familiar, isn't it? Well, that wasn't very much now, was it? I realized I had a very puny, paltry 8 minutes of video to see, so I was trying to find something to justify, to flesh it out a little bit more, and I'm sad to say I cannot. I did not get the Gorn as finished as I wanted to yesterday. This is the current state of Gornness, because I got one of those calls. Well, you get those calls every once in a while, and it was nothing bad. It wasn't one of those 3 in the morning family calls. This was a very good call from a gentleman in the modeling industry who I have been trying to, get a little tighter with. And he called wanting me to send asking me if I could send a finished model that I have of a particular subject to him or for his use at Comic-Con, which is great. I'll never get to Comic-Con, but hey, at least I'll have a model on display at Comic-Con, which is kind of a bucket list item, I guess. But they're having a booth there, and he needs a sample of a particular model. And if I told you who the person was and what the model was, it would spill a significant pile of beans prematurely, and those are not my beans to spill. Suffice to say, if the 2 and 2 that I've added here actually equals 4, it will be wonderful news for the modeling business, particularly us people in the US. So, on that mysterious note, I will turn it back to you and so you can get back to your week. And until next time, when I promise to have more to show, I really I dropped the ball this week. I gotta say, between the 4th of July update for the last weekend's activities and not getting a lot done this week. Well, getting some orders out, which was important, but not getting a lot of modeling done. I don't have a lot to show for it this week, so call this your update-lette of the week, and I promise to have something longer and more interesting to talk about next time. So until then, have a good week, be good to each other, and I'll see you back here.